Hello, and welcome to the review of the Turtle Beach Stealth 700 headset. I'm EVLSMRF, this is EVLSMRF Gaming, and I'm going to be giving you a little bit of an overview as to why I decided to return these headphones and come back with something that is, in my eyes, and thus far my ears, substantially superior in every way. So the three items that will be compared, as we need to have a basis for wired, wireless, and all of the above, is we're going to be using the Corsair, or not Corsair, the Kingston HyperX Cloud 2 headset. We are going to be using the Logitech G9 whatever it is wireless headset that is about, at this point, 4 years old maybe? And we're going to be using the Turtle Beach 700 Stealth, the PlayStation 4 version, which also works on PC. Now, the reason behind why I chose the Stealth 700 was because they are Bluetooth wireless. They work on both the PC, and on the off chance that I actually bought a PlayStation 4, they would actually work on that. Honestly, not going to happen. I have way too much crap on my Xbox. Never going to buy a PlayStation. Plus, ever since they added that Synavia crap to the PlayStation, I can't use any of my, let's just call them shared downloads for movies. So, thanks, Sony. You suck. That being said, the first thing that I want to mention is battery life, because that always comes into play when you have a wireless headset. Battery life on the Turtle Beaches started out fantastic. It would last about 7 to 10 hours, which that's about the range at which they stated that it would last for, quote, all-day gaming. Now, as a gamer, I expect that there is going to be a little bit of a disparity in what they consider all day. For me, all day is going to be about 10, 12 hours. I have nothing to do, and I'm spending my entire day gaming. To Turtle Beach, they appear to be on the same relative page pertaining to all-day gaming. Unfortunately, their batteries did not necessarily get the memo, and they are very hit and miss. Mine, as I mentioned, started being able to be fine for 7 to 10 hours of gaming at a time. You get a lovely audible message in your ear saying, battery low. That's generally you have about 45 minutes before we're going to randomly shut off, and you're going to have loud noises right in your face. Not a bad thing. This is where the comparison to the Logitech G series comes in for their wireless headset. Now, same thing, it has a Bluetooth adapter that it has to pair with. Only difference is, and this is what really made me sad, the Logitech, when your headset starts to die and started beeping at you, you could plug it in with the USB cable and you could continue using the headset. With the Turtle Beach, you cannot do that. Once your headset is plugged in, it will automatically disconnect itself, and you cannot use it unless you unplug it, which it's already almost dead. What's the point? So you're left with an option. And mine, I should mention, started to fail after 2 to 3 hours within 30 days of buying it. Yes, I used the headset every night. Yes, I would unplug it and charge it, or I would turn it off and charge it every night. Still, a battery should last longer than 30 days before having that kind of issue with capacitance. So, looking back at some of the reasons why I wanted it, I wanted a wireless headset to be able to have the freedom of, if the dog wanted to go outside, not having to set the headset down, not hearing what anybody was saying while I was in a game if I was AFK, like in PUBG, hiding in the corner in a bathroom and taking the dog outside. It was great. The range on it, crap. You could not even get out of the room before it would basically kill itself. And it would go to static and then nothing. My Logitechs, I could walk across my entire damn house and I could still hear what was going on. My little brother, same thing. He could walk all across his house. I would ask him what's going on or what's going on in game. He's like, I don't know, I'm in the kitchen. Okay. You could have a button set up to where you could push to talk while you were not even at your freaking desk. So, I could get a recap of what he had in his fridge at the time. And then he'd come back and continue playing. That does not work on the Turtle Beaches. Now, comfort. Major thing here. They were comfortable. They were comfortable for a... Well, comfort has a number of different levels. These were tolerable, let's put it that way. The leather cups for the ears, or the synthetic leather cups for the ears, were not terrible. They weren't stiff than they should have been. They were relatively stiff. They fit well. They were large enough to where they didn't compress, the top of your ears or anything like that when you were wearing them. As I wear glasses, if there's any pressure that gets put on there, obviously you get slight discomfort because your ears then pressed against the stem of your glasses, all that fun crap. That didn't happen. They were very well designed. I will give them credit where credit is due on that. Could they have been a little bit more comfortable? Obviously. There's always room for improvement in everything that's done. Comparing them to the Logitechs were substantially more comfortable. They had a larger ear cup. The overall footprint of the Logitechs was ginormous in the first place. So comparing the Turtle Beaches, which were about 2/3 the size of the Logitechs, is almost unfair, because you're going to a circular earpiece as opposed to a big freaking square earpiece that Logitech was using. I mean, mind you, sound isolation on the Logitechs was fantastic. Same with the Turtle Beach. They did not have much ambient bleed at all from outside sources. Like, Bose needs to watch their ass, because those things were very isolating. And if you could figure out a way to get them to work with a phone or whatnot, dude, you'd be perfectly set. I mean, screw Beats by Dre, you could actually use those. There's more on why I wouldn't shortly. Let's see. So battery life we've discussed. We've discussed a little bit of the comfort. The HyperX Cloud 2s that I have were obviously, they're amazing. They were very comfortable. They're designed to be comfortable. They're designed for gamers. They understand that a lot of gamers are nerds with glasses, all that fun stuff. So take that how you will. I am a nerd. I wear glasses. There you go. Now, feature set. The Turtle Beach has a mic which flips up or down. When you flip it up, it automatically will disable itself, or will mute itself, I should say. I don't use the mic. I never tested the mic. I have a blue snowball that I use when I'm broadcasting on Twitch. I use it for all audio, including the recording of this audio here. So it's really not fair. I can't compare the mic, even though the one on the HyperX and the one on the Logitech I used all the time before I got the snowball. It would be unfair and unjust to discuss Turtle Beach since I never actually used it. So I'm not going to do that. A lot of people and a lot of reviewers will throw out, oh, well, it says it's really good. I'm not going to BS you guys. I don't know the quality of it. I watch a lot of streamers that use the Turtle Beach headsets. They don't even use the microphone. They all have either a Blue Snowball or a Blue Yeti that they're using, or something that's even higher, like the Audio Technica series that you can get for studios. So I guess let's go into the audio. That's going to be a slightly in-depth bit that I don't really like discussing because it's very subjective. But I think you need to understand my thought process on why I returned them. I play a lot of PUBG. My squad was ranked top 0.1% North America in many of the seasons. We stopped playing after a while because it just gets monotonous and boring. Now we found a way to call that by randomly joining different servers with auto matchmaking and playing with people who don't speak the same language as us and trying to see if we can work cohesively as a unit with literally no voice communication. So, as you know, in PUBG or any of the Battle Royale games or any game in general that has an enemy that is not looking you in the damn face, positional sound is everything. Being able to isolate and track that noise without being able to see the enemy gives you a direct advantage, a very distinct advantage, because you don't know if they have that same advantage. The Turtle Beach headset offers what it calls ESP mode. Shelby, do not bark at me, babe. It offers ESP mode. All ESP mode does is makes everything sound overly tinny. I mean this in the nicest possible way. I honestly feel like I was going deaf. It was like having tinnitus, but you were voluntarily listening to a recording of a high-pitched shrill scream rather than... God damn it, Windows. Rather than what you actually wanted to hear. Now, it states that this ESP mode is designed to help you hear footsteps and track players easier. I don't see how. Footsteps are not loud metal sounds. They are bassy sounds. They are a thud when a person's foot hits the ground. Amplifying all of the treble is not going to help you. It is going to cause you to go deaf really freaking quickly. That was on for maybe a period of 45 seconds before I said, what the crap, I'm done with that. Now, that being said, you can turn on Windows Spatial Sound because the headset does not have any sort of a 7.1 virtualization whatsoever. It doesn't really do too much when you turn on the Windows virtualization. The headset is not very well designed to work with PC, even though they advertise that it is fully compatible with Windows 10 and all of its features and subsets. So, that being said, did not like the ESP mode. My Kingstons that I put on last night prior to returning the Turtle Beach because they died in the middle of a freaking game again was much more clear. I could hear everything the way that I wanted it to. It does have a 7.1 virtualization that I can actually use that doesn't make everything sound like it's extremely high-pitched and distorted. So let me go into that a little bit more. You have three main ranges that you're going to be listening to when you're using audio: high, mid, and low. A lot of headphone companies, a lot of the drivers that they use, and I'm not talking about the drivers within your computer. I'm talking about the actual audio drivers that actually make you hear everything within the actual headphone itself. A lot of the audio drivers that they use, they tweak them to where it's what they consider their optimal range. Now, the problem is, with Turtle Beach drivers, bass was extremely nice. Explosions sounded freaking amazing. Wonderful. Could not get enough of the explosions. The highs, such as hearing a person reload a weapon. I could hear them reload a freaking AR 4 houses away. That was awesome. There was no mid-range. It was flat. There was nothing that was worthwhile to listen to mid-range wise. Listening to music on those things was just kind of meh. There wasn't really any way to tweak it. The only thing you could try to do was get a third-party option to use as an equalizer. That's a pain in the ass. I don't want to have to do that if I'm using a headset that for one, costs that freaking much, and for two, doesn't really have any mid-range in the first place. So when you modified it, or you made any changes to the equalizer, it didn't really sound any better. It still sounded bland. Now, the Kingstons that I had, wonderful. They have wonderful audio across the spectrum. Lows, highs, mids, everything. Wonderful. Sounds as it should be. It is not the same level as like a really high-end, high-fidelity headset. But it was perfect for gaming. It was the perfect balance. Same goes for the Logitech. They did it right. The Logitech had a bass boost you could actually turn on. By default, the bass was a little bit weak. You could boost it. It was fine. You turned that on, everything was golden. So, everything that I've run into with those headsets, mind you, yes, it was Bluetooth. Yes, they look nice. They were black and blue. Goes with pretty much everything that, I had within my office. Only thing that I couldn't get over those little details. I just could not get over it. The battery life was a killer for me. I cannot be playing a game, have the battery go low, and have to find another damn headset or use my speakers. Because at 3 a.m, I don't want to wake up my wife and my kid with explosions, gunfire, and everything else that's going off. It's bad enough I'm awake at that time. I don't need everybody else in my house to be awake at that time. So last night, that's what happened. The headset said, battery low, powering off. And I scrambled to find my HyperX that fortunately were on a table behind me because a friend of mine came down and was gaming on my gaming laptop and was using that headset for PUBG. So I got those plugged in extremely quickly so that people didn't get woke up from the mass amount of grenades that were being thrown. Seriously, not sure how people had that many grenades. It was kind of freaky, but whatever. Side point. So yeah, in all honesty, I would give them probably about a 5 out of 10. Wireless headphones are making progress. I just don't see them being where they directly need to be, and it's because the fidelity that you get from a Bluetooth wireless is not going to be as good as what you can get with a USB headphone that already has its own sound card built in and can also be utilized with, if you choose, your own kind of DAC or amplifier on top of already having everything in there. The headset that I actually decided to come home with, which is a little bit different, is the SteelSeries Arctis 5. Now, the Arctis 7 is wireless. The Arctis 5 is wired only. That's why I had to find a way to do a comparison with something that was wired, something that was wireless, and, compare them to the Turtle Beaches. From my current usage of these, leaps and bounds better than what the Turtle Beaches ever were. Now, conversation with my friends, the number one thing that was said was, Turtle Beach used to be a really good headset. I agree. It used to be a really good headset. I'm still using one of their X1, whatever the crap it's called, for my Xbox One. It's not the biggest headset. It's not the most comfortable headset in the world, but you know what? The damn thing works. You can hear what's going on. You're playing on the Xbox. When I'm playing Destiny, all I have to hear is a person moving, a person shooting. There we go. That's about it. It did that. It was simple. The difference, it was a 3.5 millimeter adapter going into a controller. It had its own breakout box you had to use, which was kind of like its own amplifier system. It wasn't a DAC, but it had a little bit of amplification to it. It was a really nice headset. It still works, and I still appreciate it to this day. But the Turtle Beach Stealth 700s, honestly, if you have $160 that you want to piss away on a headset, there are many better ones out there. In fact, you could get a Corsair setup for cheaper than that. In fact, the Arctis 7, which is just as comfortable when wearing it as these, like, to give you an idea, the Turtle Beach band that goes over your head was a very stiff fake leather. It was cushioned, but it was very stiff. Did not have really any give to it, any flex to it, anything like that. The Arctis has a plastic / metal band that goes over your head, but that's not the part that sits on your head. The part that sits on your head is the equivalent of what goes around or goes on the back of ski goggles that you can adjust. It has Velcro. You can adjust it to the size. You can make these things sit on your head perfectly. I'm wearing them right now. I don't even feel like they are on my head. Those Turtle Beaches, I damn well knew they were on my head. Mostly because, A, there's a battery pack in them that's going to add weight to it. They were very solidly created, and by that I mean they used a lot of heavy crap in them. So you felt them when you were wearing them. Again, I can't fault them for that. That's not a bad thing. They went through, they put a lot of quality into them. It's just, they fell really short on the audio aspect of everything, which is the entire reason you're buying a headset in the first place. Now, that being said, if you're looking for something that is wireless, again, you can get the Corsair Void RGBs that are out there. They have a wireless variant of those. The Arctis 7s are extremely solid. You can always go with the old failsafe. They actually have the G9 something, 930, 933, or whatever it is. Now comes in more colors than just black. They have white, they have gray, they have black. Basically, it's kind of like buying a BMW. You get the entire color palette of drab from black to white. That's about what you get. Other than that, there's a lot of good going for them. For the price, there's just too much bad to justify actually spending the money on them. I'm very glad that I was able to find the faults in them before my 45-day window was up at Best Buy, because I took them back today. They looked at the receipt, and I bought them on October 30th. I returned them today on 12/2. They had no complications with it. Took the money that I would have spent on those, bought these, which are only $100, comes with its own breakout box that you can use, and this is the cool thing. I can choose whether I want more emphasis on my game or on my chat, like Discord. Yeah, it's really nice. You couldn't do that on the Turtle Beach. The only thing you could do is Alt-Tab and go turn somebody down in Discord and pray to God you didn't get shot in that, 30 seconds that you were doing something. But, I mean, as far as a review, I honestly can't say where I could even endorse the Turtle Beach headset. They have another version that's a higher version than that runs about $200, I believe. They have one that I believe is about $250. If they're $150 ones, well, I'd say that $160 pre-tax ones are that meh. I can't justify spending any more money to find out that their other versions, which use the same audio drivers, by the way, so they're not going to be any better, are just as bleh as the ones that I had. Then I would just have to kick my own ass for wasting money like that. Uh, but yeah, if you have any questions or any concerns or anything like that, I mean, just let me know. I buy plenty of toys to play with, and I figured I'd actually start reviewing them. Uh, Thinking I may actually do a review for the gaming laptop I bought. It's my backup gaming system for if my desktop ever has any issues or whatnot. I just bought a new MSI 1070 Ti gaming 8 gig card, so I could do a review on that as well. I mean, if you guys have technology that you want reviewed, put up what it is. I may have it. I may be able to tell you my experience with it. My entire goal is to try and prevent you guys from having to spend excess amounts of money to find out that the performance is just absolutely subpar. And you might be able to get away with something that is cheaper and better overall. Now, cheaper and better, the drivers that are actually in the headset that I just bought are the same drivers they use in their $350 high fidelity ones that are designed just for music. The difference is they used those same drivers and then they tailored this headset to have more gaming potential and gaming options. So it's the same thing as the really expensive ones for what they label as music only, but you also get the ability to use these for gaming. So absolutely wonderful. Can't complain. Love them. But Turtle Beach Stealth 700s, yeah, don't waste your money on them. They're just not worth it. I know a lot of big streamers like it, like Dr. Disrespect and some others. They like them because they were sent to them and they didn't have to pay for them. I would like anything that was sent to me for free as well. That's a beautiful thing. It's called sponsorship. And people will say good things about anything they are given for free or anything that they are contractually obligated to say good things about. But I am a non-sponsored, completely independent reviewer that does not really care what a company thinks if I blast them or not. So, hey, Turtle Beach, if anybody from your development team for your audio section happens to be hearing this, get your crap together. $160 is too much to spend on a headset that can't last more than a few hours of gaming before dying on you. And sounds quite honestly like a crappy little pair of 3.5mm headphones that I had back on a Walkman. Yeah, I said it. A Walkman. It is that terrible. I leave you on that.